Good afternoon and welcome to Solent Sports News. The World Cup is well and truly heating up today. From the back and forth 3-3 affair between Cameroon and Serbia, the heartbreak for the South Koreans, the group stage is not disappointed today. Here with us in the studio is our World Cup correspondent Max Timms.
Thanks for that, Ed. It's been a drama-filled day of World Cup action, with still more games to come. It started with Cameroon versus Serbia, which finished 3-3. Alexander Mitrovic thought he had won Serbia the game after putting them 3-1 up, but goals from Vincent Abubakar and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting in quick succession meant that the points were shared. The drama did not stop there as Ghana were victorious against South Korea, winning 3-2. Centre-back Mohamed Salisu opened the scoring for Ghana, and Mohamed Kudus doubled their advantage just 10 minutes later. South Korea managed to get the match level through a Cho Gu-sung brace, but Kudus broke career hearts as he scored his second goal of the game to secure a vital win for Ghana. Odds-on favourites Brazil are facing off against Switzerland. Currently, the game has been going on for 30 minutes and the score is 0-0. South American giants are without talisman Neymar after he suffered an ankle injury in their match against Serbia. That's all for today's games. Ed, back to you.
Thank you, Max. We now turn our attention to England's final game of the group versus Wales. It's a must-win game for the Welsh side, whereas Gareth Southgate's pragmatism, while unpopular, could be enough for the Three Lions. With more is our reporter Peter Langton.
Thank you, Ed. We've got another World Cup exclusive for you now. As you may or may not already know, England are playing Wales tomorrow night. If England win, we go automatically through. However, if Wales win tomorrow night, it'll be up to the Iran-USA game also tomorrow night on BBC Two to decide the final results table. We now go to the England camp.
England are all geared up to face neighbours Wales in the final group fixture at the Ahmed bin Ali Stadium tomorrow evening. The Three Lions started off their World Cup campaign with a thumping victory over Iran, but were held to a frustrating 0-0 draw against the United States on matchday 2. Eyebrows have been raised over the choices of substitutions made by England manager Gareth Southgate, as fans and pundits believe that he was too conservative in his approach. England forward Marcus Rashford, though, thinks otherwise and has defended his manager.
Especially since, Gareth's been managing, maybe before it was a little bit of an issue in terms of quality of training and people's dedication to training. But, since he's been manager of England, it's been good, it's been intense, it's been challenging.
The disappointing result on Friday did not harm England's qualification scenario, as a win would seal up top spot in their group. However, Wales with just 1 point will not go down without a fight, as the Welsh group still believe that they have a glimmer of hope of progressing.
I think this tournament has shown that every team is beatable. I really do. So of course England are beatable. They've got a wonderful pool of players to choose from, I might add. So whatever team he puts on that pitch is going to be a tough challenge for us, and of course they're going to be favourites to win the game. So we've just got to focus on us, and like I said, the group want a positive reaction. We want to go and show a red wall that we're not just here to give disappointing performances. We want to go out now and give a good account of ourselves.
It is a Royal British rivalry on football's grandest stage, a game of pride and history. England go in as favourites and are expected to go through, but a Welsh surprise is never out of sight.
10 seconds. Now.
And Wales haven't qualified for a major tournament in 64 years. Robert Page said earlier today that they worked so hard to reach this tournament in the World Cup, and he also expressed disappointment that their performances so far have not been the best as they have performed to get to the World Cup so far. And he's also shown that he also said that England are beatable compared to all the other teams that have been beaten so far in this shocking World Cup. And England are playing Wales tomorrow night at BBC One, and the kick-off is 7 o'clock. And live from Southampton, It's Monday night.
Thanks for that, Peter. Moving on to Belgium and the warring factions within their squad. Kevin De Bruyne has exchanged a war of words with defender Jan Vertonghen following their loss to Morocco. Before the game, De Bruyne insisted that the Red Devils had their best chance of winning the World Cup back in 2018. Following the 2-0 defeat, Vertonghen responded by saying that the team was too old in attack. On to club football now. QPR manager has controversially left to join Scottish side Rangers. Beale previously turned down the Wolves job, citing integrity and being all in. Pundits such as Simon Jordan have stated their disdain for the U-turn, questioning the 42-year-old's loyalty. Bournemouth have appointed Gary O'Neill as head coach on a permanent basis. The 39-year-old has steadied the ship during his interim spell as manager since the end of August. New investment is on the way for the Cherries, but they've decided to stick with O'Neill after a stalled approach from Marcelo Bielsa. Rugby Football Union Chief Executive Bill Sweeney has said he's really disappointed with England's autumn campaign. This followed England's 27-13 loss against South Africa, which rounded up England's worst calendar year since 2008. Manager Eddie Jones explains where his side need to improve.
We just weren't consistent enough in particularly the aerial contests, and we weren't consistent enough in the set piece contest today to put ourselves in a good position. So we've got to keep working hard.
Southampton's women's brilliant run of form came to a stop yesterday. The Saints lost 3-0 to Reading in the League Cup, which is a loss that came after they were undefeated in their last 5 games. They've now lost both games in the Cup and will look to bounce back against London City Lionesses in the league. Midfielder Alice Griffiths talk about the importance of facing a Super League team.
Obviously a tough afternoon. How important is it for you to test yourself against WSL opposition?
Yeah, it was a tough day today. I think obviously we wanted something out of the game, but it is always good for us to test ourselves against better players. We want to be at that level ourselves, so we know where we've got to get to and we know we need to be better.
In terms of the rest of the season, what's the goals for the group?
We're just picking up points, keep trying to get results. You know, it didn't go our way today. It didn't go our way today, but we've got the league to focus on as well. Obviously, London City is a big game coming up, so yeah, we're focusing on getting 3 points there.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Staying with local sport, Solent Boccia played in the Super League for the first time at the weekend. They won 3 out of 3 matches, giving them a perfect start to the season. Here's their story so far.
After winning the National League last season, a very big achievement for the first season as a club, they now embark on a second full season at Solent Boccia. They played their first of 3 fixture days on Saturday at Boccia England's Super League. What is the Super League, I hear you ask? Well, to tell us more, here's competition manager Daniel Smith.
So the Boccia England Super League, it's a competition for the top 8 boccia teams in England to come together on 3 fixture days and compete against each other to then go through to the finals day in July next year, where they'll compete for a chance to be crowned Super League champions.
To tell us more about the background of Solent Boccia's recent success, here is the first fixtures day captain James Clowes.
Before today, it was really getting into the Super League, like having been at the National League last year, getting into the Super League and finding out a bit more about the players and who we're playing. And I thought we had a good opportunity to show the team once again.
It's coached by Bowden and some of our members at Solent Boccia. Tells us about the expectations of the day.
Not sure what to expect, knowing the standard was going to be higher. So I'd have taken 1 win out of the 3 matches.
Quarter, decided to get into it, decided to play with you guys again and give it a good go. Just to have fun really and enjoy it.
Solent Boccia won all 3 fixtures on Saturday, winning 8-3, 7-6 and 11-0. The first fixture of the day was against Southern All Stars, who are the current league champions. To tell us more about who they are, here is head coach Barry Bowden.
So Southern All Stars are a well-established bocce club who have been playing in the Super League for many years. They have won it
5 times.
We beat them because we had a game plan, which we stuck to, but I'm not going to tell anybody what the game plan was, just in case anybody from Southern All Stars is watching.
And guess what? We managed to beat Southern All Stars 8-3.
Game's just fantastic.
Yeah.
I was expecting to just win a game, you know.
The bit was, I think it's surprising one to beat SAS because they're quite an established team and been in the Super League for years.
Well done to Solent Boccia. The team that day was Peter Lunton, James Clowes, Tim Hayes and Mitchell Robinson. Solent Boccia who now await to play again in the Super League on Sunday the 19th of February. This is Peter Lunton for Solent Sport News.
You probably played netball back in PE lessons at school, but have you ever thought of playing again? We spoke to Solent University's recreational first team who play in a local league in Southampton, created to get women back into playing netball. Erin Dugan reports.
Netball is the second most played sport by women in England, after football. There are over 3,500 netball clubs playing weekly in the UK, including the 48 that play here, at the Southampton Outdoor Sports Centre. I spoke to Solent University's first recreational team, who currently sit top of the 4th division of the Southampton League, ahead of their game against third-place veterans. Why is playing netball so important to you?
It's just like a lot of fun. Like I've made a lot of friends from being here, and it's like such a nice thing to be committed to every week. It's just like another nice thing to have on top of uni work.
Katie plays in 2 different teams for the university this year. I asked her which she enjoys more.
It's really hard because they're both so different. The Bucks team and all the second team girls are like incredibly lovely and supportive, and you do get more of a competitive feel from that. In these kind of recreational games there's a lot less pressure, it's a lot more relaxed, which I think a lot of people enjoy.
I also spoke to captain Ebony McIntyre, who played in the highly competitive British Universities and College Sport, or Bucks League last year, but has taken a step back to play in a recreational team this year. I asked her the difference between the two.
There's pros and cons. Obviously I'd love to have that competitive element of it. However, being in the recreational team this year, I feel a lot of stress actually has been brought down. We have fun as well as there is still like a competitive side to it. So having that fun element really brings out the best of people. Already having played some of the teams before, we're going to play another team again tonight. We definitely get familiar faces, and it's really nice just to have that community.
And lastly I spoke to Ellie Rush, who joined the team this October, and asked her how she was finding the league so far.
It's just a lot of fun and a bit of exercise. It's a lot less serious, so you can have a bit more fun and not have to worry about the result.
And would you recommend a league like this to someone wanting to join a team, and why?
Yes, I would, because you get to play sport and it's just a good Thursday evening.
If you're kind of new to netball, it's definitely a good way to get started, because there may be a sense of intimidation if you want to start competitive, so coming to a local league is definitely a good way to start and get your confidence up, and then obviously you can progress.
Absolutely, because as I said, it's just a bit of fun, every week with all my girls. It's just a nice time to come together, and I would definitely say if anyone's looking to join it, definitely do. It's not that much pressure, it's just something fun.
Southampton have 2 leagues, one of which plays on a Tuesday evening and one on a Thursday. To get involved, head to play-netball.co.uk.
Cricket news now, and the English T20 League, the 100, has got an offer of 400 million. The Bridgepoint Group, a London-listed buyout firm, has made an offer to the board. The counties are the stakeholders, so they could receive an £8 to £10 million dividend each if the offer is accepted. The board is still open for more investments, and a decision is yet to be made. From big money business to big money horses, Newbury's most prestigious meeting was on at the weekend. Will Harris was there to catch the live action.
After a cracking first day of racing, which saw a battle of the 10-year-olds between champ and legend Paisley Park, and an exciting debut from Jet Powered, who soared to victory, racegoers' focus is now fully on the Coral Gold Cup.
Love Newbury Racecourse because I live about 10 miles away and I do racecourse hospitality, so it's the nearest racecourse to me to come racing. I wasn't very lucky around here. I rode many years ago. I used to ride a good horse called Desert Orchid, but you wouldn't remember him, you're far too young. But you can Wikipedia him. But I won the Channel Road around here, which is a good graded race at Christmas, and quite a few other races, but not any big races around here. Not what I call the old Hennessy Gold Cup, which is now the Coral Cup. But, you know, had a lot of fun, finished up in one piece, so that's what it was all about.
After seeing James Bowen storm to victory on Lucia and Newbury legend Time Hill and McFabulous battle it out, I talked to a few more racegoers about Newbury.
I think it's one of the leading racecourses in the country, and I enjoy coming here.
Today's the beginning of the jumps here, so sort of you have a look, see what's happening, you might pick out a horse for the future. There's a few interesting ones. There's the Nichols Chase, I think Hule Goe or something like that.
I absolutely love Newbury, and my favourite horses are the Queen horses, and I'm having a fabulous time, so.
On to the Gold Cup, where 9-2 shot Les Milos stormed home, leaving the Skelton team ecstatic.
Sinew on Lamilos and just flips the Coral Gold Cup.
After a fantastic weekend at Newbury, racing fans will now be looking forward to the Cheltenham Festival.
Canada have defied the odds by winning tennis's Davis Cup. History was made in Malaga as they became champions for the first time in 109 years, beating Australia 2-0. There were single wins from Denis Shapovalov and Felix Auger-Aliassime. In the showbiz world now, it's coming home. Lioness Jill Scott won I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, winning the Queen of the Jungle crown. Let's just hope that this isn't the only time England fans will be singing this song before Christmas. That's all now for this afternoon. Goodbye.